Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Swedish Tier 9 medium tank, the Udes 16. Now as always, if you haven't guessed by the title, these are the games that lead up to and achieve the third mark of excellence for this tank. And this is a tank that I'm very happy I've finished, and at the same time I'm very sad because that means I don't really have many reasons to play it other than the fact that I kind of enjoy it, and I still will play it, but as always I am one of those people that once I've finished a tank, like in terms of through marking it, sometimes it just falls by the wayside. It doesn't tend to get picked because I've got other sort of projects, targets, things to play, you know, stuff to do, that since I've already unlocked the tier 10 Swede, I've already 3-marked this now, as I've 3-marked the tank before this, it's kind of like, it wouldn't be my first thought to pick. But that makes me sad because I've really enjoyed this tank. Like, I know the Swedish medium tanks get a little bit of stick, to be honest. And a little bit deserved because, I mean, yeah, the siege mode is a little bit clunky. But once you get used to it, it's a really nice tank to play. Like, I really enjoy it. Now, this suspension, while it is clunky, gives you 12 degrees of gun depression in this tank, which is utterly fabulous. And for this position we're taking up now, which is arguably one of the most important positions on Con 1944, it's a map that I've not seen for a very long time now, but that's map rotation. Anyway, yeah, this is the most important part of the map, and with the 12 degrees gun depression that the suspension gives us, it just means we can work this position really, really well, and it gives us quite an advantage. And the fact this tank and the rest of the Swedish medium tanks in general have absolutely fantastic camo, right? That tree, these bushes in front of me, keep my concealment rating high enough so that they will struggle to spot me until I fire. So it's really good. Like, obviously there is a lot of tanks that will utilise this position as well, but for the Udes 16 especially, it's really good, and for the Swedish medium tanks generally. Now you get good shots down the 1 line, the 6 line, the 1, 2, 6 line, so that whole area we get good shots down. And that means we can put shots down range everywhere. You know, if people push high on the 6 line, we can shoot them. If people push on the 1 line, that 50B just did, you can shoot them. And it's great. Obviously, it is a very vulnerable position to artillery. Like that CGC tried it, killed our commander. Fortunately for us, didn't kill us. But yeah, so it's not something that is all that advisable sometimes when there's lots of artillery, but that's the way it is. The other thing about that position, though, as well as it is important you do get shots across everywhere, it's a position you've really got to, like, think about leaving. Because if you stay too long, you will miss a lot. Because sometimes it'll happen where you're in that position, and then all of a sudden, the team starts gaining the advantage, and then that position becomes very not useless, but very unhelpful to your game and to your damage very quickly, very quickly. And before you know it, their team's nearly dead and you're not getting much damage. So you've got to make the judgment call really on when you need to move up. So like that heavy tank at D1 started to move up. All our guys are starting to envelop round now like they are, and that meant that staying where I wasn't going to get many good shots really, so I had to move up, so which is what I've done. I've taken this position. I knew exactly where I wanted to go to. I wanted to come to this E4 position because I can get cover. I've got all these trees, all the bushes and that keep me concealed. I can use these ridge lines to hide from these guys, well, like Conway is that M103, and the guys on the left I'm hidden from them. And when I'm pushed over where the 50B and the Leopard was, I could shoot them and stay covered myself. So it was all about, it's all about when you've just got to make that move and push over, and you've also got to think about where you want to be next to progress your game. So that's what we're doing now. I mean, we're on 3.7k damage. We've got 3 shots at people like this M103. The only ones really at the minute that could really hurt us is artillery. And they're a little bit preoccupied in the fact that they've got, you know, the Mil-2 storming where they are. So, you know, I'm pretty confident when I was spotted that I could sort of sit up and aim. Now we get another shot into the ass of that M103. Unfortunately, he's got a fire extinguisher, so he puts it out. And then there's the piggy. Shoot the piggy! Get it? Yes! It's gone, that's good. So we've still got shots of the M103 and that, so we're not concerned about moving on. We're just hoping we can reload, because the reload on the tank is a little bit slow. But then that shot goes somewhere. Like, you see, when I was jerking the aim down, that was me looking for where that shot could have gone. Now, there was a rock next to him, but it actually looked like it went high and went through the turret. Or not through the turret, but you know, the little gap between the chassis and the turret anyway. It's just unlucky with RNG. Now, yeah, we finished that game with 5k, high caliber, Confederate, and we're on 94%. I think there's another game that was in between this that was... It was a pretty quick game. I think it was probably like... I think it was... If I remember right, it was about 3.5k damage. 4k, something like that. And... basically, it moved me up to about 94.5. But then I didn't play it for a while. So, I basically forgot that I was quite close. Because... Now, I'm trying to think back now, actually. I think because that was on stream when I was close to 3 marking it, I was trying to play it to do it. And then I ended up playing 2 or 3 games after where I held the mark a little bit. Dropped... It was one of those ones where, you know, where you'd sort of drop a little bit, gain a little bit, drop a little bit, gain a little bit more, and I just got frustrated with it. And I knew that if I carried on, because that is the key thing, if you get frustrated and get tilt, you've got to know to stop. Because if you don't, you're going to completely screw up everything, and you're not going to be able to get the mark, basically, unless you're bloody minded about it. And that can just, it can destroy your mood, especially when you're looking at a tank and you're thinking, I could have 3-marked it, and then you know, you've thrown it. But anyway, yeah, so I had those games, now I remember rightly. I had those games, and I was like, you know what, I'm just giving up. And then I left it for a little while, and then I ended up playing in it again, just picking it. Because like I said, I enjoy playing the tank, so I'm quite happy to pick it and play it. And because I hadn't 3-marked at this point, it was one of those ones that I would just pick and play, because, you know, any progress is progress. And we're on, it's either Swindle or Turkey's stream, one of the two. I was like, okay, I'll play it. And we get Kasserine. So we are pushing quite aggressively on Kasserine, and we're looking for shots at this sharpshooter. Now, we've got this cover of this dune in front of us, so if we do need to, we can pull behind it. We get a nice shot into the FE422 into his tracks, which is nice. Especially, I was kind of hoping, especially with tracking him, that he might get shot, but I think he repaired his tracks and ran away. So again, we know where they are. You know, whoever that is in that light tank there has pushed quite aggressively, so they've managed to spot them. I think that's Turkey over there at the minute. So, yeah, like I said, we know pretty much where the enemy team is, so we know we're quite safe to push up. I'd say the only thing that could really hurt me is artillery, as always. So, we're just hoping he doesn't poop on me. And you can see, I know that I am relatively close, so I'm trying to still not lose progress. So I wanted to track that sharpshooter and get tracking and a pen, obviously. But unfortunately, we didn't pen his tracks, and then we ricocheted, which is just bad RNG. Because, I mean, this gun doesn't have the best accuracy in the world. I think it's 0.36 or 0.38, one of the two, which is on the derpier, I'll always say that's on the derpier side of gun handling. And the shell velocity is only 1,100, so it always feels a lot worse than it actually is, really. But generally, the tank behaves for me quite a lot. And as a package, it just feels right. It could probably do with a little bit of a better reload, but generally, it's okay. And it's just one of the reasons I really enjoy the tank. And obviously, my thing is I'm not a fan of tanks that have like absolutely zero gun depression, and having this 12 degrees gun depression and just being so flexible, because that's what I found it. That's why I found these tanks, they're just flexible. You can really adapt to a lot of different situations in the tank quite easily, unlike playing something like the WZ-120, which is another tier 9, which has 3 degrees of gun depression, and it's just horrible tank to play, personally, for me anyway. I know there might be people out there that like it, but God, no. Never in a million years. But yeah, so, I enjoy the tank a lot. So, we've got the piggy out. That's one of 2 piggies, and I'm quite happy with that. We're looking for more shots, because, I mean, at the minute we're at 2.4k. We've got 489 spotting, so, we're about 2.8 2.9k combined. So I'm thinking, you know, we're probably not going to, if we are going to drop, it's not going to be by much, because I think at this point it's about 3.1, 3k, something like that, to 3-mark this tank. So, you know, I know that I'm not, you know, doing horrifically. So it's after this that it's sort of like every shot means a bit of progress. So I'm trying to make the most of this position here. There is a T95 over there, which is a pain in the butt, because obviously he just slaps me for a lot. And we're still looking for shots, and obviously we bounced an annoying shot earlier as well on the 432. We're not having the best RNG in the universe in this game. And you could see I was getting a little bit frustrated with the gun wiggles, but yeah. So we're going for the track on the waffle. Unfortunately, the track, well, we just penned it, which, I mean, you can't complain because it's a pen into it at the end of the day, but I wanted the tracking assist. But looking back now, I don't think the tracking assist would have been any good, because we already had spotting, right? And what we would have got on tracking-wise on that waffle would have just been negated by the spotting we already had. So, because if you don't know, when it comes to marks of excellence, assistance damage, what you have, doesn't always, say you've got 2.1k assistance, that won't always be counted towards your mark of excellence. And you're thinking, well, what? But you've got assistance. Yeah. Well, what it does is it breaks it up between spotting and tracking. So whichever is the higher number between spotting damage and tracking damage, it will add that to your combined tally for your MOE. So if you've got 1,100 tracking and 1,000 spotting, so your 2.1k combined, you know, assistance, it will only give you the tracking, 1,100. It's an annoying thing because, you know, at the end of the day, it's assistance. So, you know, you're helping the team, you're helping get your MOE up. So, I don't know why it doesn't all count at once, but that's the way it is. So we are tracking, again, thinking that's assistance. We were tracking that T95 to try and get assistance off him. We were penning him as well, which was nice. We're going to hope to finish off this Jagdpanzer. We do. And we finished again with 4.7k, nearly 4.8k, 1,700 assistance, of which about 1,200 was spotting. And the game just finished, and it was like, oh, I got the third mark. Because it's only been a little while, because I've just left it. I just put it to the side, because I was a bit annoyed. And we got the third mark, like that, 95.09. We got the sniper medal, ace tanker, 1,800 base, nearly 1,900, 5 kills, 4.7k damage, and it was about 6k combined. And that was probably enough to go up a percent anyway. But yeah, I mean, that was the end of a third mark grind for a tank that I've really enjoyed. I've really enjoyed the Swedish mediums overall. They're a pretty decent line to go down, as long as you can get over that siege mode, that pneumatic suspension. But yeah, so as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.